Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ. So we will continue with our session on solving previous year questions. Okay, so I'll give you easy question and we'll start off with an easy question. So we are actually continuing with average. Okay, we started off with average, so we are continuing with average. So in this session I'll take up mixtures, allocation, averages, then we'll take up ratio also. So I'll be taking around 4 sessions for these areas. Okay, averages, weighted average, mixtures, allocation, and also ratio proportion. So this is our second session in that way. Okay, so overall this is our sixth session. Okay, so okay, take a minute and solve this question, 2001 question. Okay, how will you solve? What is given? A student took 5 papers in an examination where the full marks were the same of each paper. Okay, so the total mark is same. His marks in these papers were in the proportion given 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, in all papers together the candidate obtained 60% of total mark. Okay, then the number of papers in which he got more than 50% mark. Okay, so the ratio is given. This is what important, right? So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is the ratio. Now the total mark is same for all cases. Okay, so that is what given. Now what you can do is, since the ratio is given like this, if you remember, we have solved this kind of question earlier also. What I told you is, consider the marks are 6x, 7x, 8x, 9x and 10x. Okay, so these are the marks. Okay, now what is given? The candidate obtained 60% of the total mark. Okay, so the average is actually given as 60, right? So you can write it as divided by 5. Okay, 5 subject, which is equal to 60 by 100. Okay, since this is given in percentage, we need to write 60 by 100. So I hope this is clear for all of you. Now from this it is very easy for you to find x. Okay, so 8x is equal to 0.6. okay, so x is equal to 0.6 by 8, which is equal to 0.075. Okay, so this is how you will get the answer. This is an easy way. See, you will take it as 6x, 7x, 8x, 9x, 10x, so that the ratio, the condition is satisfied. Divided by number of subject, you will get the average, and which is given as 60 by 100. Since 60 is in percentage, you will write like this. So when you do this, you will get x is equal to 0.075. Okay, now if you know 0.075 is x, you can find marks of all subject. Okay, so only thing is that now here onwards you will face some problem in multiplication, so you need to multiply. Okay, so you'll get 0.45, 0.525, okay, 0.6, 0.675 and 0.75. Now from here you can understand that what is the question? Number of papers in which he got more than 50%. So these are the 4 papers in which he got more than 50%, because anyway you need to multiply by 100, right? So that in turn will give you 52.5, 60, 67.5 and 75. Okay, so this is less than 50. So I hope this is clear for all of you. 4 papers he got more than 50. So answer for this question is C for Calcutta. Okay, so that's how you will solve. Make an assumption that the marks are 6x, 7x, 8x, 9x and 10x, and find the value of x so that you can find the mark also, because this what is given, you take it as average. Okay, take a minute and solve this question. Okay, so how will you solve it? See, the moment you see this kind of question, slightly lengthy, so you may keep it for round 2, but again in round 2 it's a must attempt question, okay? So it's actually very easy one. A college has raised 75% of the amount it needs for a new building by receiving an average donation of 600 from people already solicited, okay? The people already solicited represented 60% of the people. The college will ask for donations, okay? So if the college is to raise exactly the amount needed for the new building, what should be the average donation? Okay, so what is given is college was able to raise 75% of the amount which is required for the building by receiving donation of 600. Okay, receiving a donation of 600 from people already solicited. Now the people already solicited represent 60% of the people from whom college will ask. Okay, so 75% of the amount you got from 60% of the people whom the college is going to ask. Okay, that's what we understood. Now if the college is to raise exactly the amount which is required for new building, what should be the average donation from the remaining people to be solicited? Okay, so what we need is we need 25% which is left out, and remaining people means 40%. Okay, so let's see how you're going to solve this question. So see, what you can do is you can assume, this is one way you can assume X is the number of people from whom the college is going to ask. Okay, so it is given here, the people already solicited represent 60% of the people the college will ask for donation. So if total number is X, okay, this people already solicited means 0.6x, so 0.4x is left out. Okay, so that 0.4x will pay how much average is what they're asking. So this is 0.6x people already solicited. So what is the amount raised from those people who already solicited? So average is 600, okay, into 0.6, that means 360x. Okay, so 360x is the amount obtained from people already solicited. Now what we know is this 360x contributes 75% of the amount. Okay, so once we know that 360 is 75, okay, 360 is 75, what is left out? That is 25. What will be 25? That will be 120. Okay, so since 360 is 75, what is 25%? 25% will be 120x. Okay, so what we need more is 120x. So 120x should be coming from how many people are actually left out? 0.4x is left out. So what you need to do is 120x divided by 0.4x. Okay, so what you'll get is 300. Very simple. So 300 is the average donation that you're supposed to get, okay, from those people who are left out. Okay, so those who are already solicited, you got 600 as average donation. Now those who are left out, who are going to be solicited, you have to take 300 as the average. Then you will get exactly the amount which is required. Okay, so how we started this? See, we know 75% amount you got from 60% of the people whom you're going to ask. Okay, so 60% gave 75%. Now 40% of the people have to contribute 25%. Okay, now 60% contributed 600 per head. 600 is the average. Okay, so we know if the total number of people from whom the college is going to ask is X, if we consider like that, 0.6x is what contributed 600, and 0.66 is actually giving you 75%. So from 0.6x, okay, what is the amount collected? Per head it is 600, or average it is 600, so 360x is the amount collected. And 360x, we know this is 75%. So what is left out is 25%, and that will be 120x. And this 120x has to be collected from 0.4x, which is left out. Okay, so 120x divided by 0.4x, you'll get 300. So answer for this question is A for Ahmedabad, 300. Only thing which is required is to make an assumption that the total number of people is X. Okay, take a minute and solve this question. Okay, how will you solve? This person was asked to calculate an arithmetic mean of 10 positive integers, okay, each of which had 2 digits. By mistake, he interchanged the 2 digits, say A and B, in one of the 10 integers, okay. So I hope you understood. See, the numbers are in this format, A and B. Okay, so 10 such digits were there. In one of the number, 10 such numbers were there. So in one of the number, what he did, he mistakenly interchanged A and B. Okay, then let's see what the sum he got. As a result, his answer for arithmetic mean was 1.8. 1.8 more than what it should have been. Okay, then what you need is B minus A. Okay, what you need is B minus A. Okay, this is very easy. So what do you mean by arithmetic mean is 1.8 more than what it should have been? When I say the arithmetic mean, the mean is more than 1.8, the sum would be what more? Sum will be 18 more, right? See, when you are finding sum and when you are dividing by 10, you are getting 1.8 more. Okay, so the sum is actually 18 more. I hope you understood. See, because this x by 10 is what you are getting 1.8 more. Okay, so here this is sum actually. So sum would be 18 more, and that's why you are actually getting 1.8 more, right? So I hope you understood. It's like this: x divided by 10, you will get exactly the arithmetic mean if x was the total sum. But here what happened is x was 18 more. That means the sum was 18 more. So you are getting 1.8 more. This is what given in the question. Okay. Now, what is the situation? You can write it as 10b plus a minus 10a plus b is equal to 18. Okay. That means 9b minus a is equal to 18. So b minus a is clearly 18 by 9, which is equal to 2. So answer for this question is B. Okay. How will you solve this? What is given? An outgoing batch of students wants to gift PA system worth 4,200 to their school. If the teachers offer to pay 50% more than the students and an external benefactor gives 3 times the teacher's contribution, how much should the teachers donate? Okay, so students want to gift PA system worth 4,200 to their school. Teachers offer 50% more than the students. Okay, and another contribution is there which is 3 times the teachers. Then how much should be the donation of teachers? See, here this number is given, so you can find it out. Okay, even though you have an option called cannot be determined, here it is not there, but still you don't want to think of that option, because when this is there and these informations are there, you can easily find the answer in this case. Okay, so if you look at this, this is a ratio proportion question. Okay, so what will be the ratio of the contribution of the students to teachers to the benefactor, the external benefactor? See, it will be if student contribute 1, teacher contribute 50% more. Okay, so if it is 100, if students contribute 100, teachers 150. If student contribute 1, teachers will contribute 1.5. So the external benefactor gives 3 times the teacher. So if teacher is 1.5, the external benefactor will give you 4.5. Okay, so this is how you will understand the ratio. So if this is the ratio, we know teacher's share is 1.5 out of 7, right? So if 7 is the amount, teachers will contribute 1.5. So instead of 7, it is 4,200 which is given. So just multiply with 4,200 and you will get 900 as the contribution of teachers, and you will mark C as the answer. So this is what you need to do. So from here you need to, what is given is the teachers offer to pay 50% more than the students. So you got the link between student and the teacher. Then an external benefactor gives 3 times the teacher. So you got the link between the benefactor and the teacher. So you got the ratio of all the 3. Students to teacher and teacher to this person. Okay, now once you know that if the contribution is 7 out of that, now anything is answered, right? If it was the contribution of student, it will be 1 by 7 into 4,200, that will be 600. Okay, so if the student, then answer option A. What about if this person, if the external benefactor contribution is asking 4.5 divided by 7 into 4,200, that will be 3 times of this, that is 2,700. Okay, so these are the contribution: 2,700, 900 and 600. Now when you add this, you'll get 4,200. So they can ask you in this way also. They can ask you about teacher, they can ask you about the student, they can ask you about the external benefactor, or they can ask all the three. Okay, I'm giving you three options. Okay, so 900 plus 2,700, that is 3,600, plus 600, 4,200. So this is how they will contribute. This is a teacher, this is a student, and this is the external benefactor. So I hope this is clear for all of you. Okay, take a minute and solve this question. Okay, what is given? So from each of the two given numbers, half the smaller number is subtracted. Okay, half the smaller number is subtracted. Of the resulting numbers, the larger one is 3 times as large as the smaller. What is the ratio of the two numbers? Okay, so two numbers are given. From that, half the smaller number is subtracted, and of the resulting numbers, the larger one is 3 times as large as the smaller. Okay, what is the ratio of the two number? Ratio is what you need to find out. So what you can do is you can just assume that the given numbers are x and y. Okay, so two numbers are x and y. So here x is greater than y. Now what you are doing this, right? X minus y by 2. The smaller half of the smaller number you are subtracting, and from y also you do the same thing, y minus y by 2. So this is what you are doing, right? So what is half of the smaller number? So here smaller number is y. So half of the smaller number is y by 2. So you are doing half the smaller number is subtracted from both, right? So x minus y by 2 and y minus y by 2. Now out of this, which one will be small? We know that this will be small, right? And what is the given? Of the resulting numbers, that means these two are the resulting numbers. Larger one is 3 times as large as the smaller. Now it is easy, right? Just equate this. Larger number out of this will be x minus y by 2, right? X minus y by 2 is the larger number, which is 3 times as large as the smaller number is this. So you can write it as 3 into, which is equal to 3 into y minus y by 2, right? From this you will get x by y is equal to 2 by 1. So what is the ratio? 2 is to 1. What you can do is, now if you want to check, okay, so you can take two numbers, 2 and 1. Okay, what is said is obviously 2 is greater than 1. So from two numbers you will subtract half of the smaller. So here you will get 1.5. Here you will get 0.5. Okay, now the larger number is 3 times the smaller number. That's what given. So you can find here 3 times the smaller number. If you take 4 and 2, then what is half of this? That is 1, right? So it will become 3, this become 1. Here also you can see 3 times. Okay, if you take 8 and 2, still you get the same, right? If you get 6 and 3, this will become, see what is half of 3? That is 1.5. So this become 4.5 and this become 1.5. This ratio is 3 times, right? So that's what actually given. Just assume that two numbers and x and y are x and y, because two numbers are given. So we need to assume that assume two numbers to get the answer. So assume two numbers are x and y. Okay, now x is greater than y, then this is the first number that you are getting, this is the second number that you are getting. We know the relation, so you get the answer, 2 is to 1. Okay, take a minute and solve this question. Again a data sufficiency question, 2000 question, okay. You used to get a lot of questions from data sufficiency area, okay? And the advantage is you don't want to solve the question, you just need to know whether it can be solved or not with the concepts that you have. Okay, how will you solve? This is also similar to the previous question that we have discussed. The first option is the question can be answered by any one of the statement alone but not using other option. Okay, second, if the question can be answered by using either of the statement alone, then combine together, and you cannot answer even if you combine. So how will you proceed? It's like this. You have to check like this. Statement 1 and statement 2 you need to check, right? So when you check for statement 1, yes, it is possible. This is the first possibility, right? Or then you need to check for statement 2. Then statement 2 is not working out. Then what is your answer choice? Answer choice is A. The statement can be answered by using any one of the statement alone. Then what you need to do? The second option possible is, this may not be possible, but second option will help you. Then also your answer option A. What is the third possibility? Both are not helping, but 1 and 2 combined together is actually helping. Okay, then what is your answer? C. Or before that, there is one more possibility. A alone will help you, B alone will also help you. Then what is your answer? B. Now, in the last case, this will not help you, this will not help you, combined also will not help you, then D is your answer. So in this case, how will you solve? The average weight of the students in a class is 50 kilogram. What is the number of students in the class? Average weight is given 50, number of students is asking. Okay, so average is given, number is asking. Be very careful about this. Now let's look for the statements. The heaviest and the lightest member of the class with weight 60 and 40 kg. See here, if you see, statement A will give you the information about the heaviest member and the lightest member. There is no mention about the number of students in the class. Without knowing the number of, without knowing anything related to number of students, you can't actually find this answer. With just by knowing heaviest and the lightest, you cannot find. So 1 will not help you. Okay. Now let's look for 2 alone. Exclusion of the heaviest and the lightest member from the class does not change the average weight of the student. That is also not giving you any clue related to number. So this also is not helping you. Okay. So 1 is not helping you. So A is not the answer. B is not the answer. C is, okay. A and B is not your answer. Now what we need to do is we need to see both together. Still, there is no mention about the number of students and you can't find the answer. So C is also not your answer. So answer for this question is D. You don't want to do anything, you will get the answer just like that, if you know the concept. Okay, take a minute and solve this question. Slightly tricky question. There is a possibility that you may make a mistake, so be very careful here, because if you see the options are very, very close. See, this kinds of question, you need to be very careful. 46, 47, 48 and 49, you need to be very careful. There is a possibility that you may go for a wrong answer choice here. Okay, so otherwise also it's a round 2 question because slightly lengthy, and it is round 2 again because of the options are very close. Okay, so take a minute and solve this question. Okay, what is given? How will you solve? The speed of the railway engine is 42 km per hour. No compartment is attached. Okay, and the reduction in speed is directly proportional to the square root of the number of compartments attached. Okay, so if let's suppose the number of compartments is x, it varies as the square root of it, right? So you can say if this is 42 varies with this root x. Okay, so that's what actually given. The speed, which is originally 42, will varies with the number of compartments, which is root x. Now what happened if the speed of the train carried by this engine is 24 km per hour when 9 compartments are attached? Okay, so when 9 compartments are attached, 24 km per hour. So what is actually the difference in speed? 42 minus 24, that is 18. So this 18 is because of this root 9. Okay, so you can write like this. It varies because of this 9 compartment. This variation of 18 has actually happened because of this 9 compartment. Now with this you can reduce it like 18 by 42 is equal to root 9 by root x, and when you simplify this you'll get x is equal to 49. Okay, so when you get this, you may think that answer for this question is A for Ahmedabad, but that's where I told you this question is slightly tricky. Okay, in fact the answer for this question is 48. So this 49 is with reference to the maximum speed. So the original answer has to be 1 less than this, because otherwise the train will stop. Okay, if the 49 compartments are there, the train will stop. 48 compartment, train will move in the very low speed. Okay, next compartment attached means train will stop. Okay, so to run, if the train need to run, the maximum is 48. So that's why I told you it's a round 2 question. See, you get the answer, but reading and understanding may take some time, and there is a possibility of marking this 49. The moment you come across x is equal to 49, you will answer this 49. That's the problem with this question. Okay? And most of the students I have come across when I am solving it in the class, everybody will actually answer this question like this: A for Ahmedabad.